Hey everyone, this one today is for my Nana. Hello Nana. So this is a bit more of a basic style class, a bit more kind of beginners, I guess. Let's just jump in and get started. So we're going to start on our backs today. So we're just going to come all the way down into the mat, lying on your back. And we're just going to relax here. Close down the eyes, let your body relax. Feet are on the floor, knees are bent. If you're a bit uncomfortable here as well, if you've got a block or a thick book or anything like that, just pop that under your head just to raise the neck up a little bit. And then while we're here, let's just start switching on to that breath. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. With each breath, just letting the body relax that little bit more. Feel yourself sinking into the floor. A few more breaths here, and then we'll just bring in a little bit of movement. So keeping those eyes closed if you want to, or you can open them. We're just going to start with some arm raises here. So we're just going to take a breath in, lifting one arm up and overhead, and then coming back down. We're just matching it with your breath, and then we'll alternate. So just take that arm to wherever's comfortable for you. Just staying with your own range of motion. So don't worry if that arm doesn't get all the way down to the floor. Just take it to wherever you can. And each time you might be able just to ease it back that little bit further. Taking those nice deep breaths. Stretching right to the fingertips. After this one, we'll do 2 more each way. Coming into our full range of motion now. And 1 more each way. And just relax those arms by the side again. Coming onto the lower body for a little bit. We're just going to bring knees and feet together. Nice and close together here. And then we're just going to drop the knees to one side of the body, keeping both shoulders in connection with the mat. And we're just going to bring them back up to center. Just a light engagement in the abdomen. Just getting a nice roll through there. A little twist in the body. Waking up the spine. 2 more each way. Beautiful. And then back into center. And taking that up a little notch, we're going to come all the way onto our side. My favorite little stretch. I'm going to bring our hands behind the head as if we're just going to do like a little crunch here. Legs are just relaxed, they can just be bent in front. So we're just going to bring those arms together to begin with, and then we're going to take a breath in. On the exhale, We're just going to open up in that top arm and stretch through, trying to ease that arm down towards the mat and then back through. Just keeping those hips nice and still, legs are just relaxed. And we're just trying to ease that arm back, getting a nice twist in the spine. So nice. Again, just trying to ease it back a little further each time. 2 more here. And last one. Big stretch through. And come back through. Staying in our side lying position, we're just going to get ourselves ready for our leg raises. So you can either prop your head up on your hand, or you can rest it down on your arm, whatever's best for you. Legs are just going to extend away. So drawing into the core here, switching onto that pelvic floor. Just draw the belly button in so we're nice and strong and stable. Keep it nice and still in the body and in this hip. Pointing the toes, lifting the leg, flex the foot to lower. So there's no movement going on here. Just isolating that movement to that leg, just waking up that hip joint. Again, doesn't matter how high that comes, just feel that point. Your body will tell you how far it wants to go. Each time you might be able to lift just a little further, but no pressure if not. Slowly up and slowly down, just nice and controlled. We have 3 more here. So kind of challenge that range of motion, make sure we're still connected to that core. I lost count, we'll do 1 more. And lower, all the way down. Nice, so now that joint's nice and warm, we're just going to switch onto the muscles a little bit more. So we're going to come into clam here. So this time knees are bent in front, feet together, and we're just going to lift up in the leg. So same principle applies to this upper body. Keeping that hip nice and still. You can just pop that hand on that hip there as well. Just make sure that there's no rocking in the body here. We lift, feel that glute engagement at the back, and then slowly lower. Again, just lifting as high as is comfortable for you, but we are just going to challenge that range of motion each time. Just really focus on that glute engagement at the back there. Four more here. Keep starting to feel just a little bit of fire there. Make sure you're still switching onto that pelvic floor, core still activated. Two more. Last one. Down. Give it a little tap out. Nice work. Come all the way onto the back. Just give yourself a little hug in if you need one. A little rock from side to side. Before we switch to the other side, we're just going to come into our bridge. Once you've had a little rest there, we're just going to bring the feet back down onto the mat. And we're just going to bring them nice and close to the hips here. So you should just be able to touch the heels with the hands. And we want the feet and knees and hips all to be in line. So this movement begins with a little tilt of the pelvis. So all we're going to do is tilt that pelvis underneath here. So visualize just tilting that pelvis under. We hollow in at the belly, and you should just feel feel that whole spine then imprint down on the mat. From there, we let that lead us up. So then we squeeze the glutes, keeping connected to the abdominals. We roll up through the spine, peeling off the mat one vertebrae at a time, coming nice and high into that bridge. Take a breath. And then on the exhale, just slowly coming back down, one vertebrae at a time. So focus on that movement in the spine and then that muscular engagement in the glutes and the abs. Start with that breath. Exhale, little tilt under, and roll it through. As we move as well, just be aware of the knees. We don't want them to roll in or out. We want just to stay nice and strong where they are, in line with those hips. Just move slow. We'll do 4 more. Seeing if we can lift those hips a little higher each time. Big squeeze of the bum. Just in your own time. Really focus on each vertebrae. Come back down onto the mat and turn. And just like we tilted the pelvis at the beginning, we wouldn't tilt the pelvis. Come back down into spine. Lift in, big squeeze. And all the way back down. Getting ready for the last 2. To make them count, big lift. How high can you get those hips? And then last one. Yeah, big breath. Exhale, tilt it under. And come all the way back down. Nice. All the way back down to the mat, and then if you need to, again, just hug those knees in, stretch off the back, and then we'll come onto the side, onto the other side, to do all that again. So I'm just going to scoot around. So we're going to start with that nice little stretch. Front into that sideline position, knees bent, just relaxed here, hands behind the head, elbows together. Oh, close enough. Deep breath in. Exhale. Just open up that top arm. It's that big stretch through. Oh, and then back through. Lovely. Last 2 here. And ease that arm all the way back. And then one more. Coming back. On your side. Getting ready for those leg raises. Again, propping the head up on the hands or just resting down on your arm, whatever's best for you. Draw that belly button in, switching onto that pelvic floor. Point the toes, lift, flex the foot, lower. Again, we're just warming up into it, so don't worry about how high that leg goes. It's not for now. Listen to your body, listen to where it wants to go. Make sure we're still keeping nice and strong and stable and still in this upper body. 4 more now, trying to lift just up a little bit higher. Keep strong in the core. Last 2. One more. Lovely. Coming into that clown position. Feet together. Draw the belly button in. Make sure we're nice and strong here. Pop that hand on the hip, just make sure we're not moving there. And then we lift. And we lower. Squeezing that glute. Drawing the belly button in. Nice work. Keep it up. 4 more. Trying to lift a little bit high now. 2. Last one. And rest it down. Give it a little tap. Lovely. Coming all the way onto the front now, onto your hands and knees. So, onto your hands and knees. Nice neutral spine here. Space. So we want to think about, we're going to work on the lower body just to begin with. We want to think about those stabilization muscles. So we want to draw the belly button in nice and tight in the core. So just starting with that lower body, what we're going to do, nice and long on the spine, nice neutral spine. We're just going to extend one leg away. And then we're going to kick, 2, 3, down, and then switch. Kick, 2, 3. Now you'll notice there is a little movement in my spine. I want to limit that movement as much as possible. What we don't want to see is this one. We don't want to be arching up to try and get that leg super high. It's not about that. It's just about that glute engagement. So tighten up in the core just to keep that body strong. There is obviously going to be a little bit of movement, but we just want to minimize that as much as possible. We just feel that in that glute. Beautiful. Nice and steady and slow. Drawing the belly button in, pushing it into the floor with the hands. We'll do 3 more each side. Two. These are the guys, keep that core strong. Last one each way. Nice. Take a little stretch over in child's pose if you need to. So feet together, knees apart, and then just reach forward. Ease it off. And I'll show you what we're going to do next. So we're just going to come onto our hands and knees again for our bird dog. So this time we're going to be moving arms and legs. So we're just going to need a little extra core engagement and stability in the abdomen. Again, thinking about those stabilization muscles, those deep core muscles. So this time, I've got some variations as well. So a higher option, take a big breath in, exhale, extend opposite arm to leg, reaching right to the fingertips, right through to the toes, slowly down, and then we switch. If we need to just take that down a little notch, you can just stick with that leg like we did before, or just the arm, or we can extend and just keep the hand and the foot on the mat and then come back down, not lifting it up. Whatever's best for you. So take a big breath in. Draw that belly button in nice and tight in the core. We're moving slowly. It is harder the slower you go, but it's just going to help reduce that wobbling in the body and help you keep balanced. Pelvic floor engaged. Draw that belly button in. Find those stabilization muscles. Big reach, nice and long in the leg, long in the arm. And be nice and active everywhere. Feel comfortable there as well. Just going to make it a little bit more challenging. Not going to change anything. All we're going to do is extend away and just hold. Maybe just count to say 3 or 4. Slow counts though, Mississippi's. And then bring it down. Keep drawing that belly button in. Stay strong. Nice work, everyone. We're nearly there. Two more each way. Try not to speed up. And one more each side. Last one. Beautiful. Nice work. Come all the way onto the front. And just take a nice big full body stretch here. So stretch right to the fingertips, right through to the toes. And just take some deep breaths here. Nice. Once you've had a little stretch, staying on the front, we're going to come into our diamond press. So this is to work on the posterior, and it's just basically a back extension. Now, hands are going to come into what is very clearly not a diamond. It's a triangle, but hey, oh, there you go. Pop your hands on the floor. Rest your head down. So we're going to begin with a nice big breath in. On the exhale, draw the belly button in. So we want to be nice and active in the core. We want to protect that back. And then as we exhale, we're just going to lift up, starting at the head, moving up one vertebrae at a time, peeling off the mat, lifting up just as far as we can, just lifting that chest off the mat, and then slowly coming back down. So a few things to bear in mind here. We want to stay nice and long in the neck, so we don't want to be looking up here, and we don't want to be tucking the chin too far down. We want to be nice and long in the neck. A little space between the chin and the chest, looking down towards the mat. We're not pushing ourselves up with the hands, but we're just going to create a little bit of tension here, just to help ease us up. Yeah? So let's give it a try. Big breath in. Exhale. Draw the belly button in, remember. And then lift up. So we start at the head. Come up as far as we can. And slowly back down. Imprinting back down one vertebrae at a time. Try and keep those legs relaxed. Just focusing on that upper body. Just feeling those muscles engage in the back. Just feel a bit of tension in the shoulders, and that lower back maybe. Nice work. Just work nice and slow. Each time we come up, You might be able to lift just that a little bit higher, really focusing on that core engagement to keep safe as we start to lift a bit more. Let's do 3 more. No rush. Use that tension in the arms just to ease up a little bit further. Last 2. Make sure that gaze is still down towards the mat. Got a little tuck in the chin. Last one here. Big breath in. Exhale, draw the belly button in. Let's see how high we can lift. Lift, lift. And all the way down. Lovely, lovely. Coming all the way down, just letting that upper body relax here. Coming onto the lower body just for one last little one. So this one, extend those legs away. Upper body's just going to relax as much as we can. Again, we're going to need that core engagement to draw the belly button in. Point your toe. Breathe in. On the exhale, we're just going to lift. 2, 3, and down. So it's pretty much what we did before on our hands and knees. We're just doing it in a different position now. So working with that breath. Point your toe. Engage that leg. Squeeze the bum. And down. Try not to grip in that upper body. Try and just let it relax. Stay with it. Keep activating in the core. So that feels pretty good. How about we take it up a notch? Stay with that if you need to. Otherwise, we can do both legs. So breath in. On the exhale, we lift. Slowly lower it down. So just one lift this time. Come back to that single leg if you need to. Big squeeze of that bum. Make sure those abs are working. Pelvic floor switched on. Let's do 3 more. Slowly lower it down. Control it on the way back down. And last one. All the way down. And relax. Roll it onto your back. Hug your knees in again. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Ease off that back that we've just worked. And we're going to come into some ab work. And then we'll finish off with a stretch. So, bringing ourselves into tabletop. So, knees are just going to hover above the hips here. And then arms are going to extend up towards the sky. So this is just like the bird dog that we did. Again, just in a very slightly different position. So from here, draw the belly button in. Think about hollowing in the belly. It will have a tendency to just kind of stick out. One thing about hollowing in instead, activating those deep core muscles. Take a breath in. Exhale. And then we're going to move opposite arm to leg. Extend away. And then draw back up. Again, just moving nice and slow. Just taking them wherever you can. hollowing in, belly button to spine. Just a little rest in between if you need to. Stay with it. Apologies. Sorry about that. After this one, we'll do 2 more on each side. One more each way. Stay with it. Last one. And take a little rest off. Have a little moment here. And then we're going to come into some leg raises. So for our leg raises, kind of just rest the arms by the side, or if you want a little bit of assistance, you can just tuck those hands underneath the hips. It just acts as a little bit of a brace. Draw the belly in towards the spine, extend both legs up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly lower the legs down. Just feel a bit more of an activation in the lower spine. And slowly bring it back up. Again, if you're uncomfortable here, just you've got something underneath your head. If you can hear that, that's just my hips cracking. Nothing to be alarmed about. Slowly down. Again, don't worry about how far you come either. Just to that point where you feel those deep core muscles activate, and then slowly back up. For everyone. 4 more. Three. 2 more. And last one. All in, belly button to spine. And hands and knees in. I've got one more to do. Please now. I'm going to come up to seated forward. Just bring yourself up to seated as best you can. I'll show you the first bit from the side, and then we'll add on a little bit and I'll change it up. So this is our C curve, very aptly named, because you're going to hollow in at the belly button, big curve through the spine. So, starting seated, feet on the mat if you need to as well. Just pop those hands behind the knees for a little bit of support and assistance here. Otherwise, the arms are going to extend away. So we always start nice and tall. Again, we're going to start with a little tilt of the pelvis. So we take a breath in. Exhale, this time the pelvis tilts under this way. Draw the belly button in, curve through the spine. Yeah, so you can already see that curve starting. From there, we roll down and we curve in more. Yeah, so really hollow in here. We find that little point, that little biting point, and then we draw ourselves back up using the abs. We're using the hands as a little bit of a guidance. And then when we come to the top, we restack the spine and we come back to neutral. So we keep curved until we're at the top. Give it a big breath in. Exhale, tilt under. Draw the belly button in. Find those deep core muscles. They're there. Roll it down. Find that little point. And then roll it back up. Nice. We'll do 3 more like this just so we can get a good practice in before we add on. Working with that breath. Each time just seeing if we can maybe come down that a little bit further. See if you can get a little shake on. Try and relax those legs as much as you can. Relax 2. Well, for now. Up. And one more. Big breath. Down we go. And back up. So hopefully got our heads around that a little bit. If you want to, you can just practice that one. If maybe you had your hands behind the knees, you might want to try just taking the arms away. Otherwise, you've got a little variation here. So this one, then it comes down exactly the same. We're just going to add a little bit of arm movement to it, which is surprisingly difficult. So, start with the arms away, take a breath in. Exhale, roll it down. Maybe not quite as far as we have been. So maybe like 3/4 of the way. And then what we're going to do, lift the arms up and overhead. Take them out to the side, back to center, and then up. Okay? And you'll feel just as we lift those arms that you just get a little extra squeeze, tightness in the core. Yeah? Stay strong. We've got it. Here we go. Big breath. Exhale, take it down. Find that point, find that activation. As we lift the arms, try and keep the shoulders relaxed. Out to the side. Try not to rush. In and up. Drawing that belly button in the whole time. Back to center. Okay. Down we go. Can't come any further. Got that little shake on, a little shake. 4 more. Last 4, and then we'll have a quick stretch. Big breath. Take it down. And up. Don't rush it. 3 to go. Let's see if we can come a little touch further. That big curve. We need that curve in the spine because it's going to protect that back. 2 more. Breathe in. Go for it now. Last 2. Make them count. Last one. Here we go. Stay strong. And up. And just let yourself relax over. Woo! Nice work, everyone. Let's have a little stretch. So we're just going to come into a seated position. So that can be crossed legs. You might want to take your legs extended out, whatever's comfortable for you. I don't mind. So, come into seated, opposite hand to knee. Just pop that hand on the knee. Other hand is going to come behind. And we're just going to take a nice big rotation. Nice and tall in the spine. Just look behind you. Nice twist in the spine like we did at the beginning. Take a breath in. Exhale, see if you can twist any further. And then back to center. To the other side. Hands onto the opposite knee. Other arm comes behind. Breathe in. Exhale. Twist around any more if we can. And back through. Coming into a nice little side bend here. So popping one hand onto the mat. The other arm is going to come up and over. Through to the other side. And then one more each way. Maybe just coming into a little bit of a deeper stretch. That's one. And then through. Send those legs away. Stretching into the hamstrings. So starting nice and tall, and we're just going to reach for the toes, hinging forward from the hips. Just reaching forward again. It doesn't matter how far you come into the stretch, as long as you feel a nice stretch down the back of the legs. Try and keep those legs straight. Try not to bend those knees. And just reach for the feet. Come as far down as you can, and take some deep breaths. Your body will relax into it a little bit more if you give it a chance. Slowly coming up. A little wiggle in the middle. Keep those legs wide. Same again, we're just going to reach forward. So we're just going to hinge from the hips. Try not to let the knees roll in. Try and keep them out. If they do start to roll in, you maybe just want to walk them in a little bit further. And then we're just going to hinge forward. And you can rest down on hands, maybe onto the elbows. Again, it doesn't matter how far you get, just as long as you feel a stretch. Nobody's watching you. Deep breath, just relax into it. And as you relax, you might be able just to come down a bit further. And then just come back up to center. Walk yourself up. Bring the legs in. Have a little wiggle in the middle. And then coming back to seated again. You can keep those legs extended or you can cross them, whatever's best for you. Bring your hands behind the back and just interlace the fingers, just like this. And we're just going to extend away. So we're just going to straighten those arms, so stretching out behind us here. Opening up in the chest, or stretching the arms. Still behind the back, you're going to grab a hold of the right wrist with your left hand, like so. And we're just going to draw it down. So we're just going to pull down a little bit on that arm. Just create a little bit of tension here in the neck. And then we're going to bring left ear to left shoulder. So feeling that stretch down here, and we're just kind of increasing it by pulling that arm down. And then we're just going to tilt the chin and look down towards our legs. And then just the chin looking forward. And then back into center. Changing sides. Grabbing hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Right ear to right shoulder. And down on that hand a little bit. And tilting that chin forward. Down to the knee. And just lift the chin, look forward again. And back to center, just let those arms relax. I'm just going to take a few rolls either way. So just drop one ear to the shoulder, semicircle. And to the other side. One more each way. And then come back into the middle and just lift that chin. Finishing with some nice big deep breaths. So bring the hand into prayer pose. We take a big breath in, stretch up. And a big exhale. And again. And one more. Big breath. Big stretch. Big exhale. And give yourself a clap. Hope you enjoyed that one. Hope you enjoyed it, Nanna. And I will see you for the next one.